Third time's a charm. Can't really pull off anything today. Always this close. Always just beyond my reach. The green fairy will numb the pain. Perhaps spark intuition. But this topic, this video will be about Queen Lilith and seduction. And seduction is not always lustful, though it, most commonly is. And you'll get some personal story. As always, this one's very personal and ongoing. And it is, perhaps too early to tell, me seeking what I desire most. What's that, you say? For those of you that don't know, that is the love of a woman I consider a blue rose. And I'm very certain that I have found one currently. And that, it's no secret she's been beckoning for some time. Complications as always. One, a spying rat seeking, to eliminate our brief moments where we open up and decide whether or not to pursue something. I eliminated that. However, a few months ago, I was this close to making my move, and then I discovered what was kept from me. Why this blue rose, ENFJ of course, had a keeper, a covert narcissist. Well, me battle a covert? Easy enough, right? Mm-hmm. Deeper. I've been down that road before. No. The blue rose resides with the covert. Oh, unhappily, and wants to be free, but feels she must accept her status quo is what it is, and all that. Struggles with the idea of change and free will. Yet is drawn towards a Lilith and, what to do? But we'll chop this up and get on with the purpose of seduction. Lilith, she's known for her seductive ways. She's known as the queen of lust. She can seduce anyone, bend anyone to her will. She is said to be, or at least be able to take form of, the most beautiful woman who ever has existed. And makes sense, she's the queen of lust, the original woman. Also makes sense that, that a character largely based on her, Daenerys Targaryen, was portrayed by the most beautiful woman. Well, perhaps second most. If only I could see this current blue rose without makeup. Can't. Glamour and beauty. Not the same thing. Male model, I know these things. See, I get a little makeup on today, but when you work where I work and you work around the cosmetic department and you get along with girls, they'll fix you. But the art of seduction is not limited to lustful desires. Seduction, particularly in the sense of Queen Lilith, can be used to seduce someone into being who they want to be, doing what they want to do. In other words, free will. If you get some brainwashed person who's just like, well, everything is what it is, and you just do what you're supposed to, and everything just works out, and you just keep doing it. You don't seek to change it. Everything is the way it should be. Lilith can seduce that person into them knowing how important their own desires are to them, how important it is to seek what they truly want and pursue that at all costs and take the necessary risks and chances to realistically make that come true, because any Lilithan will tell you the best things in life will require chance and likely sacrifice of something. Like, you know, if, say, Lilith found a male that she deemed worthy to form a pact with, I know, very rare, but it does happen. Yeah, see that scar tissue? Say that male values unconditional love above all else, something that eludes him, something that he cannot have a fair shot at obtaining. And he's got a bit of a hero complex, and he's got a chance to really stick it to a good old boys club, really expose them for what they are. However, the price would be his very form of identity, that symbol, that Maltese cross, his membership in that modern order of knights, so to say. But if he makes that sacrifice and lets go of his dream job, Lilith promises him that one day, not too far off, if he follows the path she lays out, he will encounter what he has always desired. And not only will he encounter it, but she will beckon him. Perhaps with complications. But seduction can lead to that as well. Seduction can lead one to awakening, one to, you know, being seduced into being their true self. Lilith, in general, is very, very much tied to shadow work, which means facing the parts of yourself that you don't want to face, you know, the parts that may scare you, the parts that you're embarrassed of, the parts that show weakness. Ooh, that's kind of Klingon-y looking, doesn't it? Yeah. Brow ridges. But, you know, seduction most commonly is lustful, and it often gets a bad reputation in that sense, that, oh, seduction is solely for short-term carnal lustful desires. Well, seduction in the romantic, in the love sense, could also be the seduction towards letting somebody know that they deserve better in the love department, to seducing them into leaving a bad situation to seek out what they want that they feel that they cannot pursue because they must stick with the status quo. In that sense, it's not evil. It's liberating. It's, you are not happy. You are in a bad situation. You feel you must accept this bad situation. This bad situation has told you this is the best you can ever hope for. Narcissist. And then what you desire truly, that you thought would never arrive and you'd never obtain, not only has arrived, but also wants you. But you're deciding that you cannot seek it because the status quo says you can't. Well, the status quo has a vested interest in keeping the status quo going. You know, Lilith can seduce one into seeking that desire at all costs and letting them know that it's, you know, worth the risk, that obtaining such a desire is transcendent. And, you know, there's different ways to help with Lilithan magic. Just for instance, say you are a Lilithan witch and you are pretty good at waking people up and having them seek free will. But you had a dilemma one day. And the dilemma is that there's one individual that your personal feelings mar it. It's different because you want this person. never encountered this before. You've never empowered somebody that you wanted to pursue romantically. It complicates things, particularly if they're tied to a narcissist, because, well, it's a little hard to be impartial when if you want them free of the narcissist and they want you, and you obviously have the most to gain if it does happen. So, but this person struggles with free will and change. What to do. Call in the best backup there is. Like this medallion was given to me, it has a portal to Lilith on it. Multiple witches did it. And, let's say you're a fully initiated Lilithian witch, you can do that too. Although, wearing an occult symbol is not for everybody. But let's just say it's a, very naturally beautiful, blue-eyed girl who, dresses professionally for her job. A symbol such as this, a lapel pin like that, might be fitting, with a spell on it to have her access that dark feminine energy and have the strength and the courage to pursue the free will and change that she has confessed she truly desires but feels she cannot go for. Might help. Now, the timing and giving it to her and explaining this could prove very difficult, and I'm sure the females in here would, let me know if that's madness or not, but it's just an idea. For instance, not like I'm looking for the right time to, do that very thing with a specific girl that for months now we've been going back and forth, and people comment on our Chernobyl level of sexual tension or anything, and people keep getting in the way, and the timing's never right, and the narcissist makes her sad, and, when first she's happy, but the timing's not right, and then later that day, after the narcissist has called her, and now she's sad, and it's just not the time. It's just for instance. But seduction can be used in this sense too, in the sense to seduce someone into acknowledging who they truly are, into, the seduction is that they can be the person they want to be. They don't have to accept the role that's been thrusted upon them, that they're told this is the best you could ever hope for. No. And a lot of times that seduction can include the romantic seduction of someone that they have deemed an ideal partner, which they may, think, well, there's not many of them, I'll never encounter one. And then when they do, they may think, well, he'll never be interested in me. He has all these women chasing him, but turns out the blue rose is the one he wants. And this guy's weird. He may only be able to want one woman at a time. They got a word for that. Demisexual. Yeah, poor bastard. Shares my curse. This metaphorical person. So, seduction's useful in that regard as well. And it can also be, seducing someone just into the idea of change, not just romantic change, but change in, you can pursue this career. You can be seduced into believing you are capable of doing something that you've been conditioned to believe that you're not. Usually by a narcissist. Not always, but usually. So, seduction is very useful in that sense. Seduction into, again, just change in general, or seduction into embracing free will, even if the free will is not all that healthy, but just doing what you want. Conformity and obedience, as far as I know, never led to happiness. I know it hasn't for me. It's been a long time since, I never did really do conformity, but, obedience, and, you just follow the path, and you go to college, and do they said. They've never been right about anything. Nobody can even tell me who they are and why I should care what they have to say and what authority they have and who gave them that authority or how to take it away from them. So, in that sense, the Queen of Seduction, very useful. Very useful in empowering yourself. Perhaps embracing the darker sides of yourself. Perhaps darkness is required to break your chains. And trust me, you want those chains broken. Time will tell. Can I free a blue rose who wants to be freed? Will she be too scared to leave the cage once I break the door? I'm going to break the door down, but she asked me to. I'm going to do it. Will she take my hand, or will she stay with her master? Time will tell in this epic saga. And time will tell soon, because time runs thin.